Good morning, you guys. Hi. It's if you don't know me, my name is Lindsay Danens, and I am a holistic nutritionist, and I also have a global health and wellness business with the number one brand for internal and external health. And you guys, I'm just very passionate about helping people live their very best, and part of that is feeling their very best, right? So if you are my friend or you follow me, then you might have seen, I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago, I posted about a new natural regimen I am using to balance my hormones, and I'm going to share a little bit of personal information with you kind of as a background, but so I've been pregnant or breastfeeding for literally the past 3 years, and I'm so grateful for my 2 beautiful children, but what happens, we all know, if you've been pregnant or a pregnant person, pregnancy requires a lot of hormonal shifts, and I, a few months ago, had enough. Okay, I'm just going to be frank. I was dealing with things like mood swings, irritability. I was tired. You guys, I'm a holistic nutritionist. I eat almost perfect 95% of the time, right? So I knew that my diet was exactly what it needed to be, but there was still something off. And if you're a dude watching this, I'm sorry, you should probably turn it off, unless you have a wife or a partner that's dealing with this. But when my period came back after my son was born, he's almost a year old, and so I've only had 3 periods since that time. They are so irregular, very heavy, so much bloating and discomfort, and I know my body enough to know that that is not normal. And I also know that if I went to my OB with these symptoms, I love him, he's a great doctor, but his only solution for me would be hormonal birth control, which is personally not something I am interested in at this time, and that is a personal choice. So I reached out to a naturopathic friend that I have, and she is studying. She's actually not a naturopath yet, but she is in school for natural medicine, and she recommended a few things. And so I posted about seed cycling a couple weeks ago, and I've had so many questions. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go live. So, if this is relevant to you, great. If not, just put it in your back pocket. Maybe you'll use it someday, because it is, it works for people that are of childbearing age, and it also works for premenopause and postmenopause. There's just some modifications you need to make. So, let's just start with, how do you know your hormones are imbalanced, right? So a lot of symptoms, including weight gain, abnormal body fat, thinning hair, brittle nails, headaches, migraines, you guys, bloating, fatigue, irritability, right? Women generally know their body enough to know that something is wrong. And so I encourage you, if you've had a feeling like symptoms of depression, anxiety, those are not things that we should deal with, and those are a sign that there might be something off. So of course, there are so many ways to balance hormones naturally, like reducing stress, eating a whole foods diet, reducing your intake of non-organic dairy and meat, or just cutting out dairy and meat completely. There's many different ways. And so I did all of those things, and I was still having problems. So anyways, what is seed cycling? I don't want this video to be 15 minutes, because I definitely have a tendency to do that. So seed cycling, you guys, is a natural way to regulate your hormones. So it's based on the days of your cycle. So women, we know that we have a follicular phase and a luteal phase. Maybe we don't know what that means, but the follicular phase is the first 14 days of your cycle, okay? So that is the first 14 days generally before ovulation, okay? So during that time, estrogen is really, really high, and it's supposed to be. So it's preparing the body for ovulation. It's getting your body ready for a possible pregnancy, right? And so what we do during the follicular phase, if you're interested in seed cycling, is you you consume 1 tablespoon of flax seed and then 1 tablespoon of pumpkin seed ground up. So it's ground, raw, organic flaxseed and pumpkin seed for the first 14 days of your cycle. And why is that? Because these seeds have something called lignans in them that act as phytoestrogens. So phytoestrogens are not the same as xenoestrogens, right? Xenoestrogens are bad, and those are things that cause estrogen dominance in our body, like chemicals in our skincare, chemicals that we're exposed to, things that we eat in our food, all kinds of stuff. But phytoestrogens are plant-like estrogens. So they literally have the ability to modulate your estrogen production naturally. So if you need more estrogen, the phytoestrogens can help produce more estrogen, which most of us don't. But if you need less estrogen, if you're suffering from an imbalance and you have too much, it can modulate the estrogen down. It's so cool, this science behind it, because it is something found in nature that we can use to heal our bodies. So for the first 14 days, you grind up, I use like a small like coffee grinder, grind up 1 tablespoon of flaxseed and 1 tablespoon of pumpkin seed. Okay. And I just put it in my morning smoothie. You can just eat it. People have different ways, but you want to do this. You want to consume it no longer than 15 minutes after you grind the seeds. So it's a little bit of work. If you want to grind a bunch of seeds ahead of time, you can put them in the freezer so that they don't go rancid. But the longer you wait, the oils in the seeds start to go rancid. So you want to eat them immediately. So it is a little bit of work, right? But this is like our mental and our physical health that we're talking about. So that's what you do for the first 14 days of your cycle. The last 14 days we switch and we consume 1 tablespoon of sesame seeds and then 1 tablespoon of sunflower seeds. You guys, again, these are raw, organic, whole seeds that we grind up at the time that we're eating them, or we freeze them. And the reason for these two is because in the second half of our cycle, so the luteal phase, progesterone is high. There is still a little bit of estrogen, but these seeds help modulate that progesterone production. So we switch sesame and sunflower for the last 14 days of your cycle. And there are a couple oils that you can take too. So the first half you can also add in an organic fish oil, and then the last half you can add in evening primrose oil. And so that's what I'm doing also, but the seeds would just be more than enough. And so that is how you do it if you don't have a regular cycle. And so you don't even know like when the first day of your cycle is always the first day of your period, right? In case you didn't know that. So you can start there, and the benefits from this are, not only will it help regulate your cycle and reduce symptoms of PMS, but it'll also regulate that up and down that if you are suffering from hormone imbalance, you know what I'm talking about. So, I don't want to go too much longer. If you guys have questions specifically that I didn't cover in this video, please let me know. And I'm so, honored to help you out. But again, I've only been doing this for like almost 3 weeks now, and I've already seen such a dramatic shift. So I can't even imagine what it's going to be in a couple of months, because they say it takes a few months to really see the benefits. So, I'm just grateful somebody shared it with me, and I wanted to share it with you in case you're suffering from that. And, please share this video if you feel like there's people in your life that could benefit from it. And I'm here to answer questions. Again, I'm not a doctor, but I am a nutritionist. I understand how the body works, and it's just so cool that we have this natural option. So, anyways, that's it. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye.